Good day. I welcome all of you who has joined us. Media Center Ukraine in Ukraine Forum is going on with its work. This is the 9th year of the war, and today we have 229th day since the beginning of the full-scale invasion of Russian aggressor to our land. I thank everyone who is telling truth to the world about this war. So now we are in touch with Mykola Povoroznyk, first deputy head of Kyiv City State Administration. Mykola, we welcome you here. Hello. Mykola, let us now speak about the consequences of the yesterday's mass attacks of the Russians. What did they bring for our capital city, and whether we managed to restore critical infrastructure as of now? Yesterday was a very hard day. It all started since the early morning. The most horrible tragedy from the human perspective took place at the crossroads of Volodymyrska Street and the boulevard of Taras Shevchenko. People died there. Lots of injured were there as well. And also there were strikes against the objects of critical infrastructure. Thankfully, we managed to involve all of our reserve capabilities. The city had power supply, and during the previous day, now we almost fully restored all of the infrastructure which was damaged, besides the important infrastructural objects. And also we are going on with this work. And also on the crossroads of Volodymyrska Street and Taras Shevchenko Boulevard, as of today, we restored the movement of the vehicles. Mykola, could we say that all of the citizens in Kyiv have a power and water supply, and you managed to restore everything? Yes, you're totally right. As of the morning, we just had 20 or 30 buildings which were totally local. This was not a systematic issue, which did not still have power. So today, during the day, we will restore all of that. The only thing we ask you, and we will ask today as well, from 5 p.m. till 10 p.m., could you please disconnect the powerful appliances, electric appliances, to save power? Those are the peak hours of the load onto the system, for the reserve system, which is now working in the city, to have an opportunity to provide everyone with power. So what about the public transport? Did the work of the public transport change, or didn't it change at all? We're working according to the scheme which has been developed since the beginning of the war, where it's possible the public transport is working. As of today, the whole scheme is working, including Taras Shevchenko Boulevard, because it was repaired yesterday already. All the contact lines for trolley buses were repaired, and as for the street lights, we don't have any issues left as well. The only thing I will mention that during the air raid alert, the land transport and the surface part of the underground is not working. We debated on these decisions a lot just yesterday. The picture from Dnipro was shown all over the internet when the shell hit just 10 or 15 meters in front of the trolleybus which went along its route. I should say that during these moments all of the people need to hide in the shelters. That is why the land transport should stop. As for the underground, it's only about the surface part. If it's possible, it is working in the underground part, but still the underground stations are used as bomb shelters as well. Yesterday we stopped the work of the underground during the air raid alert, taking into account that so many people were located on the stations. People were trying to find shelter. Mykola, what about the work of the state institutions and educational institutions? What is the current situation? Yesterday we took a decision for the educational institutions and preschool educational institutions to transfer to online. The pupils of schools till the end of the week will study online. As for the kindergartens, they are closed. The state institutions are working ad hoc, depending on the situation which we have now in the city, taking into consideration the air raid alerts and the danger which they bear. So the issue of people arriving or reaching their job places, those state institutions, depends on the situation. We debated about that a lot, about the work of the, for instance, Center for Administrative Services Provision. They will be open in half an hour after the end of the air raid alert. Mykola, you've already mentioned that you are addressing the population of Kyiv to restrict the consumption of power during the peak hours. Maybe you've got any other recommendations for the population which we need to listen to. I would like to remind, we were saying about that, speaking about that for multiple times, that in the apartments we should have the collected documents, a package of documents and the minimum reserve of food and water to be provided when you get down to the shelter with everything necessary. And to confirm the yesterdays, we shouldn't neglect, I always used to say that we shouldn't neglect the air raid alerts. As of today, the most important thing is to save your life and health. Dear colleagues, are there any questions? Please take the mic. Vitaly Holod, Ukrinform, could you please tell? The hole on the crossroads between the streets of Volodymyrska and Taras Shevchenko Boulevard was repaired quickly, but which objects were complicated to repair? Maybe some of the extra forces of the communal services had to be used. I wouldn't say that this hole of the shell and on the crossroads of Volodymyrska Street and Taras Shevchenko Boulevard was easy to repair, because the water pipeline and canalization was damaged there, so it was very hard to repair, but we did it quickly. We also, as of today, go on with our repair works in other places. Any other questions? Mykola, we can see that in some of the cities, especially in the bigger cities, some of the decisions are taken about the additional security measures. They install special public transport stops or any other constructions which could help people hide somewhere. Will those measures be taken in Kyiv, or maybe, according to your opinion, is the underground substantial enough, because this is the most powerful shelter in Kyiv? I would like to repeat, as our own security is our top priority, the security of each other. Each of us is responsible for his or her health, or maybe the people who are close to you, the children or the parents or friends, doesn't matter. So the issue is that whether we use everything what we have as of today, maybe we can await. We shouldn't wait for the bomb shelters at the public transport spots. If we neglect the opportunity to get to the underground passage, because more or less it is also reliable shelter. So far, the shelters at the public transport stops is just the idea, because we need to understand that these are very substantial constructions, and with all of our calculations, they should be, for 20 to 50 people, should take a big area. As of today, we don't have any state standards which would be calculated and tell us how it should be done. As of today, we have enough of shelters and places to hide for if you wish to save your life there. I thank you so much. I thank you that you found time and joined our air. I remind you, dear colleagues, we had Mykola Povoroznyk, first deputy head of Kyiv City State Administration. And just now our team is getting ready the schedule for tomorrow, so please follow our announcements. We believe in our armed forces and we are working on together for our victory. Glory to Ukraine.